Picture this. You're about to embark on an epic quest through one of the Bible's most thrilling narratives. Think of it as a divine role-playing game where the stakes couldn't be higher. Welcome to the Book of Esther. Our story begins in the vast Persian Empire, where King Xerxes, think of him as the final boss of this tale. She's promptly removed from the throne. This triggers a kingdom-wide search for a new queen, essentially a royal recruitment quest. Enter our main character, Esther, a young Jewish woman being raised by her cousin Mordecai. She's not your typical hero. She's hiding her Jewish identity in a foreign land, kind of like having a secret character class that could either save or doom her. When she's taken to the palace for the queen selection, she gains favor with everyone she meets. Imagine her charisma stat being maxed out. Meanwhile, the antagonist enters the scene, Haman, the king's right-hand man. He's consumed by pride and hatred, especially toward Mordecai, who refuses to bow to him. Haman's response? He plots to destroy not just Mordecai, but all Jewish people in the empire. He's basically rolling for genocide. This is where Esther's quest reaches its critical moment. Mordecai delivers the famous line that defines her purpose. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? It's like that moment in every epic story where the hero must decide whether to accept their destiny. Esther faces a deadly challenge. Approaching the king without being summoned could result in death. But she chooses courage, fasting, and praying for 3 days. Think of it as preparing for the final battle. She famously declares, "If I perish, I perish." Through wisdom and patience, Esther reveals Haman's plot at 2 banquets. She's playing a strategic game, carefully timing her moves. When the king learns of Haman's scheme and discovers that Esther herself is Jewish, the tables turn dramatically. Haman is executed on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. The story concludes with the Jewish people being saved, Mordecai being promoted, and Esther establishing the Feast of Purim to commemorate their deliverance. It's a perfect example of divine providence working through human courage and wisdom. What makes this story timeless isn't just its dramatic plot twists, but its deeper message. Sometimes we're placed in difficult positions not by chance, but for a greater purpose. Esther's story shows us that everyday people can become heroes when they choose to stand up for what's right, even at great personal risk. And here's the amazing thing. This isn't just ancient history. The Feast of Purim is still celebrated today, reminding us that courage, faith, and standing up against injustice are timeless virtues. In our own lives, we might not face life or death situations like Esther, but we all have moments where we must choose between staying silent or speaking up for what's right.